I don't think you understand the situation here. You're the rat in the trap right now, not me. Dustin reminded. The Flame Dragon Gang disciples, who had been suppressed by Bennett earlier, sprung up excitedly now that they had a fighting chance against the Doyle family. What? Are you challenging my family? Maggie yelled. So what if I am? Since I've already offended your family, I might as well see things to the end. Dustin retorted fearlessly. You. Maggie seethed. She didn't expect Dustin to be crazy enough to completely disregard her family. Ms. Maggie, this place isn't safe anymore. We should retreat and regroup. One of the martial artists next to her whispered. There was no way they could hold out against so many gang disciples, especially with Dustin around. Maggie sucked a deep breath and eventually ordered, retreat. Who said you could leave? With a fierce stomp, true energy burst out, and the Doyle family martial artists were sent flying into the air, causing wails to ring out everywhere. Grab them. Nelson immediately charged forward with his men, finally having the chance to release all the pent-up anger from the humiliation. Stop. Right before the battle broke out, a feminine voice cut through the commotion. A voluptuous woman clad in black walked in, with a dozen female martial artists following closely behind. What? Dustin frowned. He was taken aback because he knew the woman in black. It was Claudia Doyle, whom he had encountered briefly back in Swinton. They had first met at Peaceful Medical Center when she and Sheila had been severely injured by Thor Garcia, one of the four scoundrels. Back then, Dustin was the one who saved them and killed Thor. Their interactions stopped after he cured Sheila's odd disease in exchange for the Gozra berry, so he was surprised to see Claudia here. You came at the right time, Claudia. Kill this bastard for me. Maggie's eyes lit up, and she cried out happily. It's you. Claudia was just as astonished to see Dustin. Long time no see, Ms. Doyle. Dustin greeted indifferently. Claudia, this man was acting so arrogantly. And he even challenged our family. Take him down immediately. Maggie jeered. Shut your lips. Claudia shot Maggie a glare, causing the latter to swallow her words. Maggie had always been terrified of her cousin, and it wasn't just because of her strength, but because of Claudia's close relationship with the Murrays. Out of all the youngsters in the Doyle family, Terry was the only one who could control Claudia. Dustin, I don't know what grudge you have against Maggie, but I must bring her back safely today, Claudia said. That'll be difficult. She stirred up trouble and even hurt my men. I can't pretend that nothing happened. Dustin shook his head. I am willing to pay you double the compensation for all the damage she caused, Claudia responded confidently. This isn't about money. Would you be happy if I gave you some money for expenses after slapping you a few times? Dustin retorted. Then, what do you want? Claudia frowned. First, she has to kneel and apologize. She also has to pay a tenfold compensation, as well as slap herself twice to show her sincerity. Dustin smiled softly. Fuck off. Maggie snapped. You want me to apologize and slap myself? Who the fuck do you think you are? Dustin, you're taking things too far. Claudia growled. I'm talking to you nicely because saved Sheila before. You're going to have to suffer the consequences if you keep this up. Are you threatening me, Ms. Doyle? Dustin narrowed his eyes, a small smile on his lips. I'm just giving you a piece of advice. Claudia snapped. Terry is the one who's protecting Maggie. He won't let you off the hook if you touch even a single strand of her hair. Terry Doyle? The Flame Dragon Gang disciple instantly began shaking in fear. In the martial world, Terry was not only treated as the brightest individual of the Doyle family but was also a powerhouse whose name was on the heavenly immortals and stood atop all his peers. There were even rumors that he might be the next leader of the martial arts world. To sum things up, Terry was a blessed individual who was born into a prestigious family and had the guidance of the most esteemed masters, while potentially becoming the next leader of the martial world. Even meeting just one of those conditions was amazing enough, yet Terry ticked all the boxes. So, who would dare challenge him? So what? Does that guy have 3 heads and 6 arms or something? Dustin was unfazed. You should ask those around you if you've never heard of Terry's nickname. Claudia hissed. Sir, we can't afford to offend someone like him. Why don't we give up this time? Nelson gulped. He's right. It's all right if we suffer, but you don't have to put your life on the line. The other disciples advised. If it was Maggie they were up against, they'd still have a winning chance. However, if their opponent changed to Terry, this would just be asking for death. You heard that. Everyone in Millsburg knows how strong Terry is. If you surrender now, I can ask him to let this matter go. Claudia spoke again. Hey, Rhys. You better not waste the chance Claudia gave you, or Terry might destroy this place. Maggie jeered. Is he that strong? Dustin raised an eyebrow. Are you scared now? And here I wondered how tough you were. It turns out you're nothing but eye candy. Maggie grumbled disdainfully. Dustin, you should consider the situation you're in. Surrendering to someone stronger than you is nothing to be ashamed of. I'll help you once, but you're on your own next time. Let's go, Maggie. Claudia waved her hand and prepared to leave. Hang on. Dustin moved quickly and blocked the exit. When did I say you could leave? Are you going to stir up more trouble? Claudia frowned, annoyed by Dustin. She thought that she'd been kind enough to him, yet he was still being extremely stubborn. Hey, don't be so fucking shameless. Maggie barked. If it weren't for Claudia, did you think I'd let you go so easily? Trust me, if Terry were here, he'd wipe out all of you. That won't be necessary since I'll be looking for him myself, Dustin responded calmly. I'll be visiting your family in 3 days to challenge Terry. We'll settle all the scores then. What? Dustin's words stunned everyone, and they gaped at him in disbelief. Was he crazy? How could he challenge Terry Doyle, the genius who's on the Heavenly Immortals? Did he have a death wish? Dustin, are you out of your mind? That's nothing but foolish and suicidal. Claudia was the first to react. She had only spoken kindly to him because of Sheila. She never expected Dustin to be bold enough to challenge Terry.